that's the project to extend the road and sewer, water, and storm sewer through Eagle Ridge to Elmhurst. Both of those get added through this urban renewal amendment. It's part of what we have to go through. Everything we do has to be within the plan. It has to be on the maps for us to be able to use tax increment financing. It's been a long time coming. We've had a consultation meeting with the county and the school district. Nobody ever shows up to those, but you schedule it and say, if you have any concerns, you can come down. Nobody came to the consultation meeting, so I don't believe there's any concerns. I've heard a lot of support actually from the county and the school district.
Yes, school. I talked to the school, yes, they're all for it.
Yeah. I think there's a broad support for it, so it's not a big amendment like we did when we did the first amendment, which included most of Eagle Ridge Edition. These were just sections that were left out because we didn't believe they would be developed in the future, and lo and behold, here we are.
Jeff's here tonight. Jeff, fill us in on anything and stuff on the project at all, or anything you want to say?
Well, I feel like there's gonna be some homes put up there in the near future. I just think it ought to pass. I think it ought to go, the road needs to be put in, and
Any other comments from the council? Do we have any written comments or objections?
No, we don't.
Do we have any comments or objections from the general public in attendance this evening? There being no more comments or objections on the adoption of proposed amendment number 2 to the South Residential Urban Renewal Plan, the amendment concerning an urban renewal area in the city of Humboldt, state of Iowa, I will close the public hearing at 5:51 p.m. Stay in order then. Okay. Under new business, we need a motion to set approving setting Saturday, October 31st, 2015 from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. as trick-or-treat night in the city of Humboldt. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next, we need a motion to approve the renewal of a Class C liquor license, Sunday sales privilege, and outdoor service privilege for Dennis D. McCullough doing business as the Prowler.
In order?
Yep.
So moved. Approved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed. Next, we need a motion to approve a street closure request from the Humboldt County Memorial Hospital Foundation for the 5th annual Going the Distance 5K Glow Run on Saturday, October 10th, from 5:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m.
This just closes the area around Nokomis. They did this last year, and they had some difficulty with some people driving too fast around the people who were doing the glow run. So with that in mind, we're going to talk and make sure that the police department's in the area and keeps anyone from acting too ridiculous around the people running. It was really unfortunate, but we had a good turnout last year for it, so should be good.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed. Next, we need a motion to approve an updated street closure request from the Humboldt Dakota City Chamber of Commerce for the Downtown Sounds Chili Cook-Off on Thursday, October 8th from 3 to 10.
This had to be moved back a week from the original request due to a conflict. So with it moved back, same exact time and area, and it'll be the same as previous years as far as the setup for the cook-off.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed. Are you cooking this year?
Oh, I'll cook
No,
again. I
hot?
plan on winning this year.
Less hot?
Well, I don't know. I probably will go sweet because the hot doesn't get a lot of votes.
No, it does
so.
not get, no, that was burning.
It's votes for me, so I don't
Burning.
know.
Just curious.
I'm the only one
Some of the
voting
proto
for
said
it.
that.
Can't vote for yourself more than
No.
once.
Really?
No, well. Alrighty. Next, discuss the proposed development agreement terms for Eagle Ridge Phase 2 South Lots and corresponding vacation conveyance at Christie Circle.
So this has been kind of a long and meandering process. Unfortunately, a minimum assessment agreement would not work according to the attorneys at Allers and Cooney. We had to use a different method of securing the city's interest in the development of the lots, and this development agreement will only cover the 2 lots that will be sold to Jeff Birdie. The agreement will be directly with him. The agreement will likely contain the following provisions, and Jeff's here just to affirm that all these things are okay. We've been talking on the phone, so it's been somewhat staggered communication, but all protective covenants would be carried forward from Eagle Ridge. The 2 homes must be constructed by July 2021, 5 years from road completion. Jeff would pay $20,000 for Christie Circle, with $15,000 being refunded to Birdie after the homes are constructed. And lastly, a provision allowing the city to force reversion of Christie Circle should the homes not be constructed. These conversations, I mean, we've been going back and forth on trying to figure out how to make it happen. I know the mayor and Jeff have talked too, so I don't know. I guess what's your...
Yeah, I'd like to see that last line removed, because if you're gonna deed that stuff over to us, because I want a deed on them right away, because if I'm gonna plat them out, I almost have to have a deed. Because there's gonna be 5 lots there, or there's 5 lots right now, and it just, I want to turn that into 2 really nice lots.
I would have to check with Allers and Cooney, because for us to pass this in an urban renewal area, you have to have, the vacation and conveyance has to revolve around some sort of ties with the city, with the land. Otherwise, it has to go through a formal bidding process rather than a simple development agreement. And so it might change the way that the development agreement's crafted. And so if we change it, we can work on it, but I guess there might cause issues if we pull that section out just to make it compliant with state law. So I think that's why they had the reversion right in, but, you know, I guess, yeah,
I
how
don't have a
important is
problem with the
it?
reversion right then, but then I kinda have a problem with me paying the $20,000 up front.
Without getting
I mean, I'm gonna get 15 of it back, which I'd pay the 5, but I'd hate to pay 20 and then find out that maybe I'm not gonna get nothing out of it either. It's a catch-22 type of deal.
It's a little bit what the city's kind
Yeah.
of doing too, though.
Yeah, I know, we're both in the same.
We're both in
boat.
the same boat, we're investing $500,000, hopes that we get the money back out anyway, hoping anyway, so.
And Jeff's paying the 20 because he's the developer of the property, and is that,
It's a guarantee, not a guarantee, but it is, and basically what it's saying is if he doesn't develop the lots, if the lots get built anytime sooner, completed in the 5 years, he gets his money back. It just protects the city some and gives us a little bit, that if he doesn't get done with the houses and stuff, that we would get the money, then it would help start paying the taxes anyway. Because if in 5 years, the house got built at the end of 5 years, then it's additional 5 years before the tax comes online. It's 10 years out of the 15, we really don't get the taxes out of it, so it's only the last 5 that we would get full taxes and stuff anyway. That cuts us beyond tight anyway, but it's just the 15 is an incentive. It's more of a guarantee, I shouldn't say an incentive, but it's just
You gotta figure if the 2 homes aren't constructed and they don't go up, the city's on the hook for $389,000. So that's why there's a monetary value attached to it, so.
and then of which 15,000 is refundable after the other 2
If they
homes?
do go up, huh?
if they go up, then it's within the 5 years. Yeah.
Right, within the 5 years.
But if he doesn't build in 5 years, of course, and the property comes back on, then it becomes a city property. So, which then we get to sell and recoup our money for
Right.
the road.
Right.
So then,
So
at that
I
time,
could lose the 15 and the property.
yeah, that's what I mean,
Could.
that's
Yeah.
what could possibly,
That's-
you would lose
that's
the money
kinda my-
plus the property.
Catch right there.
I think that's kind of the intent, is to make it a sting if you don't build the homes, because the city we may get 15,000 back and we may get the property back, but we're still out you know, $190,000 worth of construction. I mean,
Plus lawyer fees probably and other
Yeah.
things that.
so,
So-
I mean, that's,
But if we,
And hopefully that's not even a point.
I
You
don't,
know, hopefully that's not even a discussion part, that the houses are up and done and everyone's happy and stuff anyway, so I guess that's,
I don't think it will be a point at the time.
No.
But I do understand having to protect our fannies a little bit too. I don't know what the legalities of it are. You know, you're saying that,
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I thought we were okay and we had this agreed on. I didn't realize that there was still a problem with this. I haven't had a chance to talk to Thomas and Cooney about
No,
it.
I
So,
was on the road all day, so I'm trying to get back, but and I'm probably fine with it. I just wanna make sure that,
we don't, whether or not vote if we're not fine with it, I guess I don't wanna bring this in case we're not fine with this anyway and have a problem.
well, the thing is, we have to approve a contract
Right.
tonight.
Right.
And
We
so,
do.
this has to be pretty much,
well, I'll sign paper tonight.
I mean, there's nothing, unfortunately,
And this
that's
is
where we're.
Bertie and Son, not Jeff.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's no development agreement, it's just
Right.
at this point, it's gonna have to be essentially an agreement that
Right.
we're moving forward with these being the terms. And, because the city has to move forward with the contract. And
Yeah.
so, Mark Aaron's has given a guarantee that, or has given a letter that he is actually, moving forward with the house on his lot up
Right.
there. And then these would be the last two. Obviously, Hartlaw's already in construction, so giving some certainty that increment will be created to pay back the taxing and financing project.
so I guess, Jeff,
But will that deed will I get a deed for Kirsty Circle? So
Yeah, the reversion right is only if things aren't built. And so I will make sure that we get whatever you need to get the construction. It's the same thing that we do on the Eagle Ridge addition, the first phase. I mean, essentially we hold the deed, but then once you start construction, we release it and give it to you so that you can get the construction loan and everything in place. And similar thing. You just have to, at a certain point, you have to work with whoever you're in an agreement with to make sure that it works for both parties, so.
and this is the first time that this has worked out like this, because we are unsure if we'll have enough TIF money in order to pay for the entire project, is that, I mean, that's.
This is the first time we've ever asked for extra money. It's not
Right.
the reversion's always been in place
Right.
on city property and
Okay.
stuff anyway. Because we did take a lot back up on the hill there from one of the people that bid on it and didn't take it. We did take
Right.
that back and resold it and stuff anyway, so.
You have to have a 5-year, you have to have some form of time frame on build-out, otherwise you have no certainty the taxes will be created, in which case the time runs out on the urban renewal area and you've created no increment to pay back the project, and then that just falls back on general obligation debt, and which
Yeah.
means the general population is paying
Yeah.
for it. And
Right.
so, this clawback provision to say, we'll take the land back, the city hasn't used it, but Humboldt County Housing Development Corp. has used it in all of its agreements on Riverview Heights and on Eagle Ridge, with this intent to make sure that there is increment available.
Does Jeff's money go into an interest-bearing account then, as long as we're holding it in a sense? I mean, if it,
It'd be the same as when we hold any funds. I mean, we hold
Or
deposits.
half a percent or whatever,
Yeah.
or 0.2%,
Yeah.
whatever
Well,
we get anyway. So it's-
Yeah. So, I mean, that's what.
Retirement fund.
It's been a little bit of a race trying to get this together. Unfortunately, we started this conversation probably about a month ago, and Allers and Cooney kind of dropped the ball on this one. I've followed up with them about 3 times, never got the development agreement back, and then kind of last week, I find out that the minimum assessment agreement won't work because we don't have plans and specs for the buildings that will go up, and we don't have definite descriptions of the property and where the homes would necessarily be situated. And so without that, Allers and Cooney felt that you couldn't pass a minimum assessment. So I understand this is very disorganized as far as going through this process, which is unfortunate, but it wasn't meant to be that way. It's just we found out some information late in the game, and so we kind of had to
And you know what, I feel personally very comfortable doing what we're doing. You know, if Jeff is willing to go ahead and, you know, make the commitment, and I feel comfortable with it, I really do. I don't think it's a hindrance to the city at all, so.
And that's what I thought after our meeting a couple weeks ago, I was kind of wondering if we were asking the right questions, because, you know, what other communities in our situation wouldn't, you know, welcome, would be excited about having 4 potential, you know, adding $1.2 million to our tax base. I mean, so I wasn't sure we were quite asking the right question. I mean, why wouldn't we?
Right.
Why wouldn't we go forward with it, you know? I know it's a little unconventional in the way, you
Because
know.
you're spending other people's money.
Yeah.
Because
I
you're
know.
spending other people's
It's a
money.
risk. Yeah.
It's a risk. And it's a
We always
risk.
are.
Right.
Yeah.
One thing, we know what we're dealing with,
Right.
and that makes all the difference in the world as far as I'm concerned. If it was a stranger sitting over there that was trying to pull one on us, we'd know it.
Right, had no track,
We don't have
established
that
track
problem.
record, no, you're absolutely right.
Let's go with it.
Yeah.
So we're good then, are we, Jeff? Okay. Any other conversations?
The only follow-up is that we have to then move forward with the contract after this. Obviously, we pulled that out of a resolution a week or 2 weeks ago, and just approved plans and specs, and now we have to authorize the contract with Hearst and Sons. I think
That's coming up,
lawyers-
huh?
Well, it's just a follow-up to this conversation, so.
Okay.
With that, we need a motion to authorize myself to sign the contract with Hearst and Sons Contractors Incorporated for the Eagle Ridge Addition Phase 2 project.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're good, Jeff. Ready for resolutions then? All righty, under resolutions, we need a motion to approve the following proposed resolution number 2015-74. Resolution adopting an amended cafeteria plan, including a dependent care assistance program and health care reimbursement plan effective October 1st, 2015.
This resolution will increase the allowable maximum flex plans to accommodate the increase permitted by the federal government. It will bring the flex plan to a new $2,550 limit from the old $2,000 limit. Again, the employee just sets this aside essentially for a tax benefit, so it doesn't increase the cost of the city. The only event that it does increase the cost of the city is if an employee spends it all down and then is either terminated, retires, or leaves the city for some other reason. So, in which case, they may have spent above what we've collected on the monthly allowance. But that's the only situation.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Goodell,
Aye.
Slater,